Being a tax law practitioner was appealing to me for a few different reasons. One is the sense of responsibility involved in transactions whereby you're sometimes looked at as the quarterback, where there's a lot of responsibility placed on your shoulders. So I enjoy that. I thrive on that. Probably the most engaging part of the practice is that it's always changing and it's extremely challenging. So rather than some areas of law where you can leverage that knowledge base pretty effectively for a number of years, tax law is changing in very complex ways throughout the year. And I just love the process of learning, and tax law is a great way because we're always learning from changes in legislation, changes in administrative positions from the CRA, and just the landscape in general. So I think those are probably the two things that I really enjoy about practicing tax. I think that tax law it works in a boutique firm structure because there's quite a few barriers to entry to get into tax in terms of getting a foundation of knowledge, and many firms, whether legal firms or accounting firms, don't commit the resources or have the time to really put together a team to start and develop that practice area. It's very tough to do on your own, so it's hard to just go out and hire one tax lawyer and bring them into a firm and say that you have a tax practice. So the boutique style of firm can be effective because it gives you a critical mass of intellectual capital and lets you almost be the outsource for many smaller and even medium-sized firms that don't have that type of resources or incentive to create their own tax group. So the boutique model is good as an outsource. In the pro bono context, tax lawyers have a lot to offer to many of the great not-for-profit and charitable organizations. And tax lawyers are in somewhat of a unique position that they are quite often involved with the Canada Revenue Agency and are very familiar with the establishment of registered charities and not-for-profit structures. So I think even in terms of the starting point for an organization, tax lawyers can add value to that in terms of their own professional advice being translatable to in the pro bono context. Above that, they generally have a good network and a wide range of experience in terms of seeing many different situations. And so I think tax lawyers are very well suited to give back to the community, and even from the organizational perspective, which I just mentioned, to fundraising, you can always, espouse the benefits of charitable donation receipts, which everybody loves to see on their tax returns, and just right down to business experience and strategic planning. I think that tax lawyers are well positioned to give back to the community and should. Tax law is probably, for me, the most intellectually stimulating area or thing that I've ever undertaken. It's challenging, it's rewarding. Quite often the problems that we get faced with have been considered by other professionals, so by the time it gets to a boutique tax law firm like ours, it's gone through another sometimes accounting firm or law firm. So we're getting tough problems, so it's extremely intellectually challenging and rewarding as well.